He's coming out.
Now is the moment for Britain to choose its future, and we will have a general election on the 4th of July.
6 weeks of campaigning now done. A day of voting nearly over. The likely winner of the general election just an hour from being revealed. So the question is, will it be Rishi Sunak, Sir Keir Starmer, or neither of them? Who'll be standing victorious in Downing Street tomorrow? They don't yet know, we don't yet know, but we'll find out tonight on Election Night Live. Good evening and welcome to Election Night Live. There's less than an hour to run until the polls close, an hour until we release the exit poll, an hour until we find out who's likely to govern Britain for the next 5 years. The parties are battling to see which leader will step through the door of number 10. But we've beaten them to it. Throughout the night, we'll be here in the heart of a digital Downing Street. We'll bring you all the results of the general election as they happen. And we'll discover who'll be walking into the real number 10 as Prime Minister tomorrow. For the next hour, there's only one number that matters, the countdown to when we can release the broadcaster's exit poll. Our Sky News team, including our data editor Ed Conway, are part of that. And neither you nor I will know what they know right now until the magic moment at 10 o'clock. It'll be our first big indication of the winner of this election and the scale of any victory. With me on this journey will be a fantastic team of political heavyweights. Look who's here, my trusty wing woman. What would I do without her? Our political editor, Beth Rigby, right beside me throughout. No bathroom breaks, sorry. Just the other side, Trevor Phillips, a man who's seen his own fair share of election nights, imparting lots of sage knowledge later on. And for political heft, you don't get much better than the Mayor of Greater Manchester and my very good friend, Labour's Andy Burnham, and the former leader of the Scottish Conservatives and Beth's very good friend, Baroness Davidson. Welcome to you all. Are we all set?
Yeah.
Excited?
Yeah. Totally, yes.
Yeah? Any nerves?
A few.
I mean, always nervous on election
thrill.
night.
Just
it's thrilling, isn't it?
It's so thrilling. Honestly, I'm so excited. I could scream. We're all following all the parties and players tonight, right across Scotland, Wales, and indeed Northern Ireland. And all of those results will be here at the bottom of your screen. There you go. Your one-stop shop for information about who has won what and when. So not long now until the counting begins and the results start coming in. Since 7 o'clock this morning, millions of people up and down the country have been casting their vote and still are. Earlier, the leader of the Lib Dems, that's Sir Ed Davey, voted alongside his wife in Kingston and Surbiton in southwest London. The Green Party co-leader, Carla Denyer, cast her vote in Bristol. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak voted alongside his wife in Richmond in North Yorkshire. And the Labour leader, Sir Keir Starmer, also accompanied by his wife, was seen bright and early at a polling station in North London. Well, my colleagues Anna Botting and Mark Austin will be with the Conservative and Labour leaders tonight as they hear their own results and also the results of the election. To Anna in North Yorkshire in just a moment, but first to Mark, who's standing by in North London for us. Hi, Mark. What's the atmosphere like where you are? Will it be a clear majority? Will it be a narrow lead, or will it be a hung parliament? Will it fit with the expectations outlined in previous polls over the last 6 weeks? Could it provide us with a narrative for the night based on what we have seen before? 133 polling stations around Britain have been asked to duplicate their ballot. They did. This is what's happened, ladies and gentlemen. The exit poll 2024.
Whoa. Oh my God.
Yeah, you can see Ruth's face in just a second. You can see how Andy has reacted.
Brilliant.
A Labour landslide and then some. Conservatives on 131 seats. Labour 410 seats. The Lib Dems on 61 seats. What a campaign he has had. Ed Davey, as I was saying to the team just yesterday, his midlife crisis coinciding with this election campaign, and it looks like he's potentially secured 61 seats for his party. As far as the SNP is concerned, I don't know how you describe it in Scotland, but we'd say in Lancashire, it looks as though they've been absolutely battered. And look at the numbers for Reform, potentially up to 13 seats.
Wow.
That's where some of the Conservative votes from last time will have gone. Beth Rigby, I was giving you a moment. Go.
Yeah, that is an incredible result. If you think that Starmer said he had to climb a mountain, he has scaled Everest there and taken off into orbit. Looking at that, that is implied majority. If this is correct, and it's only a prediction of 170, it would be the second biggest Labour majority ever, only slightly behind Tony Blair in 1997. It is an incredible result when you think Labour in the last general election had its worst performance case since 1935. They were written off. They were consigned to perhaps a decade or more out of power. It is, I would say, a landmark moment. It's been half a century since any Labour leader won a majority, the last one being, of course, Tony Blair. There's a whole generation of people who won't be able to remember a Labour government, and that is a consequential win because Keir Starmer wanted a decade of renewal. He might have it.
OK.
For the Tories, just to say, that's the worst performance ever. That is worse than Balfour in the Liberal landslide in 1906. Look at Reform. Look at Lib Dems. The subtext of this is not just the implosion of the Tories, but the rise of the other in this general election.
Let's see the reaction when we said Labour 410, a majority predicted of 170s. The Conservatives properly getting a drubbing. Reform, as Beth was saying, potentially on 13 seats. This is how our experts reacted when they first saw the landslide.
Oh my God.
You can see Ruth's face in just a second. You can see how Andy has reacted.
Brilliant.
And Labour. Let me put some meat on those bones for you, should I? Because we're going to be talking about this throughout the night. The exit poll suggesting Jeremy Hunt will become the first Chancellor to lose his seat at a general election, a possible gain for the Lib Dems in Godalming and Ash. Also possible Lib Dem gains, Alex Chalk, Justice Secretary in Cheltenham, Lucy Fraser in Ely and East Cambridgeshire. She is, of course, the Culture Secretary. Other Cabinet Ministers the exit poll suggests are likely to lose are Grant Shapps, Defence in Welwyn, Johnny Mercer, the Veterans Minister. The exit poll saying it's too close to call for
Richard Holden,
Basildon and Billericay. An early declarer that as well. Could be first Penny Mordaunt in Portsmouth. You're running out of people who could potentially be the next leader. Victoria Atkins, the Health Secretary in trouble in Louth and Horncastle. Steve Barclay, DEFRA in
I say good every time you...
No, you can't. You can't. Play nice, please. We've got a long way to go. Mark Harper, Forest of Dean. Transport, Mel Stride, Work and Pensions.
Oh, he's put in a shift this election campaign.
Have a look.
That poor bloke's never been off the telly, has
Have
he?
a look. Which of those are you surprised at?
In terms of, well, I'd be in terms of the pictures up there, I looked at Rishi Sunak and thought you were saying he was going. I said I would actually be pretty surprised if Richmond went. We'd be in real trouble. I think it was well trailed. I think if Tonbridge goes, that's a likely Conservative hold. I'm pleased to see that in terms of Tom Tugendhat. Too close to call. I mean, it's It's funny, Beth and I were talking before we went on air, and the word coming out of central office was that we could be below 3 figures in terms of seats. There was a chance, so actually 131, while, I mean, there's no dressing this up, this is a massacre. It is a massacre. They've actually, if this is right, pulled a few back from where they thought they were. They've pulled a good few dozen back from where they thought they were, because there was 80 that we thought we had, with another possible 40 to 60 in play. And we seem to have got most of the upper end of that. But we were hearing the same thing, weren't we, Beth?
Yes, we were.